The Romanis are an ethnic group living mostly in Europe who trace their origins to medieval India. Living on the fringes of European society, millions of Roma are experiencing discrimination and stereotyping almost on a daily basis. They are systematically denied access to proper housing, employment, healthcare, and educational services. Spread across Europe with large concentrations in Spain, Romania, Bulgaria, and Slovakia, they're often subject to forced evictions and treated as second-class citizens.
Si l'on voit nos statistiques, même si elles sont compliquées, les Roms sont les Européens qui sont les plus exposés au risque de pauvreté, au risque de chômage et au risque d'exclusion sociale.
The European Commission admits that Roma, EU's largest ethnic minority, are its most pressing challenge. Therefore, under the provisions of the Lisbon Treaty, they are calling for mobilizing of regional funds, including the European Social Fund, to resolve the Roma issue.
La Commission européenne a publié sa stratégie pour la prochaine décennie pour l'Union européenne, ce que nous appelons dans notre jargon la stratégie 2020.
A culmination between EU policy at the highest level, national policies, and grassroots efforts in local communities where the Roma live could produce the desired results. Carla Ronkes works in the Roma community of Ghent, Belgium, where her main focus is on education.
We want the children to school, but very often the parents do not really see the necessity to send them to school. There is also a problem of housing. When they go from one house to another house, to go to the same school is a problem.
The refugee work group in Ghent explains that the Romani communities must be assimilated on a country-by-country basis. Slovakia has one of the most deprived communities of Roma in Europe. It continues to build segregated Roma villages where, according to Amnesty International, the living conditions are deplorable.
In Slovakia, they are really very, very discriminated, and after the communist time, they have been kicked out of all kinds of work, and the schooling is very poor.
In 2008, the Italian government declared that the Romani community living in Italy constituted a national security threat and that urgent action would be required to tackle the situation. Officials accuse the community of increasing crime rates in the country. Human rights organizations explain that there is no national emergency as such, but that the only urgent situation to be tackled is that the average Roma person living in Europe in the 21st century has a life expectancy that is under 60 years of age. A unified EU policy is expected to gain momentum in a bid to tackle poverty and pave way for the social inclusion of Roma communities.
It's a closed community because they are also discriminated very much, so they are very aware of this, so they protect themselves also.
It was the efforts of NGOs and advocacy groups calling for a pan-European strategy on dealing with the Roma that paved way for the 2010 social plan being proposed by the European Commission to last over the next decade. Human rights organizations have cautiously welcomed the social plan that aims to improve the lives of Romani of Europe, who've often been treated the same as refugees despite living in their respective countries for generations. However, the ongoing struggle against anti-Roma policies is yet to produce the expected results. Preeti Nalu reporting for Press TV from Brussels.